Hello, class. I'm going to go over the first quiz with you to give you some feedback so you can understand your mistakes. I'm just going to go and scroll through the quiz and give you some information, and you can feel free to listen to any or all of it, and also let me know if you have any questions afterwards. All right, so the first section is on Spanish is spoken in the following countries. Estados Unidos is yes. Guinea Equatorial is the only country in Africa that speaks Spanish. That's yes. Mexico is yes. Chile, yes. Brazil is no. That's Portuguese speaking, which we know from the reading, if you read the cultural section. In Filipinas, yes, they speak some Spanish. That's a former Spanish colony. And the next section is a drop down menu, and I won't go through that. There weren't very many problems on that section. Again, if you have questions about things that I'm not covering, or if you have questions about things that I am covering, you can always email me and let me know, and I will be happy to help you. All right, so here's a dialogue. And the dialogues, I always recommend you read through those completely before you start. And here, of course, you have your box of choices. Adiós, buenos días, igualmente, muy bien, y tú, regular. All right, so then you just go through. It's Eva and Carla. He says, Hola, Carla. So what's the best response? Maybe from the ones that we have here. Buenos días, Eva. He says, ¿Cómo estás? Best response, muy bien, ¿y tú? And it says, and then Carla says, esta es mi amiga Ana. Igualmente, mucho gusto, igualmente. And then he says, hasta luego, and it's adios. Right. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like the only options there. Okay. And then going on to the next section is another dialogue. And the options there. Adiós, buenos días, ¿cómo está? Mucho gusto, muy bien. So it's Profesora Solinas and Sonia. So this is a formal conversation. Use usted instead of tú because it's formal. So, hola Sonia. And Sonia says, buenos días, Profesora Salinas. She says, ¿qué tal? Bien, gracias. ¿Cómo está usted? And Professor Salinas says, mucho gusto, Sonia. Este es el profesor Ibáñez. And he says, mucho gusto. And she says, igualmente, hasta mañana, and adiós. All right. All right. The next one are recordings. And it's formal or informal. Indicate whether you would use the greetings you hear for the first time with a new student, your professor, Senora Gomez, or both. So the formal you is usted, the informal you is tú. So you would normally use the tú with a student, a fellow student, and the usted with your professor. All right, so let's see here. Let's listen. No, it's not playing. Try that again.
¿Qué tal?
So, ¿qué tal? So who could say that? The student, the professor, or both? Well, both could say that. Okay? Because that's informal and both could say that.
Buenos días.
Both could say buenos días as well.
¿Cómo se llama usted?
¿Cómo se llama usted? That would actually be both as well. Both could say that.
Mucho gusto.
Both would say mucho gusto.
¿Cómo estás?
And ¿cómo estás? Would be just Mr. Gomez. The student wouldn't say that to the professor because that's an informal in most cases, but it can vary. Okay, tú or usted. Listen to each of the conversations and decide whether it is formal or informal based on what you hear. All you have to do is listen for a tú or un usted. Let's listen.
Hola, Clara. ¿Qué tal estás? Bien, ¿y tú? Muy bien, gracias.
So that you clearly heard tú, so that's informal. Okay.
Buenos días, señor Pérez.
Buenos días, señora Encina. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, gracias. ¿Y usted?
Regular, regular.
Qué pena.
So usted, so that was formal, and so on. I won't go through all of those, but again, you can always ask me later if you have any questions. All right, write the expression you would use in each of the following situations. Con permiso de nada, gracias, lo siento, and por favor. You receive a birthday present, of course, that would be gracias. You need to get out of a crowded elevator, that would be con permiso. Your friend tells you he broke up with his girlfriend, lo siento. You're asking a friend for a favor, por favor. And your sister thanks you for advice, de nada. Okay. And the next one is similar. De nada, gracias, hasta luego, lo siento, perdón, and por favor. You bump into someone, perdón, you're leaving, but you will see your friend in 2 hours. Hasta luego. Someone says gracias, you say de nada. Your friend's dog has just passed away, you say lo siento. You ask your teacher for help, you say por favor. And your friend buys you a cup of coffee, you say de nada. Okay. And then describe the following people use the appropriate form of ser. So ser is the most common verb in Spanish. It means to be. And the forms in English are I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, you are, and they are. That's it in English. And of course in Spanish they have their own forms, which are soy, eres, es, somos, sois, and son. So you just have to fill in the right form. So, tú eres, right? Okay. Elena es, yo soy, responsable, Pedro es, generoso, usted es, sincera. So just fill in one of the correct 6 forms. There's only 6 options. Just fill in the appropriate form. Okay, match the following times in digits with their equivalents in hours. And I won't go through all these. There's a drop-down menu here. Of course, the first one is las 5:30, but probably you can figure all those out. I don't think there were too many problems there. All right, this was an instructor graded one, so I gave you feedback on that on the quiz, so I won't go through that. And you also did a Blackboard assignment similar to that. All right, you will hear 3 short conversations. Match each conversation with a picture that best represents it. All right, so let's listen.
Buenos días.
Buenos días. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Sara. ¿Y usted cómo se llama?
Me llamo Juan Sierra.
So which one would that be? Probably B, right? Well, let's see. Let's listen to the next one.
Hola, María. Hola, Sara. Este es mi amigo Ernesto.
Mucho gusto.
Encantada.
So 3 people there. It's got to be A. And let's listen to the last one here.
Hola, Javier.
Hola, Manolo. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
All right, that's got to be C. All right, so you can just kind of go by process of elimination there. All right, and then write the letter that corresponds to the following objects. This is just vocabulary. You have reloj, pizarra, pantalla, computadora, bolígrafo. Anyway, all this is in the textbook. It's really very simple. I won't go through all those for you. That's just a vocabulary lesson. El and la, of course, both mean the. It's just based on gender. El is masculine, la is feminine. Okay, so then the dates. A student from Chile would like to know when the following holidays are celebrated. Follow the model and write the entire date. So dates in Spanish are written differently than they are in English, right? So, but there's a formula, el, and then the number. In this case, it would be 14, and then de, and then febrero. Right, so as you see, they put the month first and then the day, which is opposite of what we do in the States. So, el 14 de febrero, all right? Independence Day, el 4 de julio. Halloween, el 31 de octubre. Right, this is how you write dates in Spanish. El, the month, the day. Sorry, el, the number, the day, and the month. That is how you do it in Spanish. And then el primero de enero. The first of the month is called el primero. The rest, just use the regular number, dos, tres, cuatro, and so on. And then el 17 de marzo. All right. Okay, your calendar here, all you have to do is write in the days of the week, and don't forget that 2 of them have an accent mark, miércoles, accent on the E, and sábado on the A. And generally calendars in Spanish-speaking places start with lunes, which is Monday, but anyway, that's not that big of a deal. Okay. Listen to the following expressions and indicate whether they're normally said by a student, an instructor, or both. Let's listen.
No comprendo.
No comprendo, that would of course be a student. So, estudiante.
Vaya a la pizarra.
Vaya a la pizarra, of course, is professor, profesor.
Más alto, por favor.
Más alto, por favor, well, that could be both. That could be either one. I say that all the time. Students like to whisper in class.
Tengo una pregunta.
Tengo una pregunta would more likely be estudiante. Although, estudiante.
Conteste en español.
Conteste en español is profesor.
Más despacio.
Más despacio is probably el estudiante. Okay. You're completing a reverse spelling bee. Write the words as they are spelled. This is just to practice the alphabet, how it sounds in Spanish. So P-I-Z-A-R-R-A would be pizarra. Let's do the first one here.
E-S-P-A-N-O-L.
So that's español. And you may have to listen to those a few times. It takes a while to get used to that, to how the alphabet sounds. But that's just practicing how the letters sound in Spanish. Okay. So going on then, I won't play all of those for you. You can kind of listen to those more than once as needed, since there's no time limit there. Okay, and this one is really just practicing adjectives, any appropriate adjective here. This was an instructor graded one. If you had anything logical at all, you got credit for it. And so really it's just introducing the concept of adjectives. So Carlos says, I don't have many friends. Carlos es introvertido. Carlos es tímido. Carlos es antipático. Any of those would work for that one, for example, for number 60. Okay. Then going on, complete the following conversation between two classmates using the words and expressions from the list. So this is mostly the verb ser, as we mentioned earlier, and an adjective creativa, inteligentes, and simpático. So really, with these dialogues, you have to read through the whole thing first. That's recommended before you start, and it will make much more sense. Then you can kind of go by process of elimination. So, hola Leo, ¿cómo es tu profesor de español? What's your Spanish professor like? Hola Rosa, todos mis profesores este semestre son inteligentes. That's the only one that will work there because it's talking about profesores, so you need a plural adjective, so that's the only one that will work. Okay. Todos son este semestre, todos mis profesores este semestre, sorry, that's the verb. Son, are, and then here is inteligentes, muy inteligentes. Yeah. All right. And then, ¿cómo eres tú? What are you like? And it's tells eres because it's tú. ¿Cómo eres tú? Soy. I am studious and creativa. Sorry, simpático. And then Rosa says, muy tranquila y creativa. Okay. See you in class. Hasta luego. All right. Use the picture to match the name of the student. The statement best matches where he sits in class. And again, it's a drop-down menu. There's 5 options there. I won't go through all of those. But al lado de, next to, entre, between, delante de, in front of, enfrente de, which is in front of and facing. So you just had to go by, again, process of elimination there, since it's a drop-down menu. All right, so now we're doing numbers. So you just hear the number, write the number you hear. Let's just practice one here.
6,
6. So you type S-E-I-S.
46,
46, that's trickier. 46, like that.
51,
51, like that. 3 words.
70,
70.
70,
And 70 sounds like 70, sounds like 60. So you have to listen closely to 60 and 70.
94,
And then 94. Okay. All right, let's see here. Then there was more numbers. So I'm running out of time here. Let's kind of run through these. Again, you can always email me if you have questions about anything. All right, let's see which ones were problematic. I'm going to try to go through the ones that might have been problematic. Okay, so this is, look at the TV listings and write the times of the programs. Write out the times using the words, follow the model. So, The Walking Dead es a las 4. It's at 4. Duck Dynasty es a las 5:30. So there's a pattern there. Es a, and then the time. Sorry, the a's already there for you. And then the time. Okay. Then there was the video. Again, you can watch the video more than once if needed. And then another drop-down menu. ¿Qué fecha es hoy? Es el 15 de octubre. ¿Hay clase de español hoy? No. Hoy hay clase de biología. Again, process of elimination. Okay, so that takes us to the end of the quiz. I hope this was useful. And again, I reiterate, if you need more help, please let me know. I'm here to help. Thanks. Hasta pronto.